The proletarians have nothing to lose but their chains. They have a world to win. These are the most famous words Karl Marx ever wrote. For over a century, they have been the rallying cry for revolutions, for uprisings, and for change. But in the 21st century, the chains are no longer made of iron. They are invisible. They are forged from debt, from desire, from the quiet desperation of a 9-to-5 job that barely pays the bills. You feel them every day. The anxiety of living paycheck to paycheck, the exhaustion from a system that demands more and more of your time for less and less in return. The feeling of being a powerless cog in a vast, indifferent machine. You see the flaws of capitalism all around you, but you are told there is no alternative. You are told that this is just the way things are. To fight against it is pointless. That is the greatest lie the system ever told. Because Karl Marx was not just a critic, he was a strategist. And hidden within his deep analysis of capitalism is an underground playbook, a set of strategies so powerful, so fundamental, that they have been deemed forbidden, not by law, but by a culture that needs your compliance to survive.
This is not a call for a violent uprising. This is a call for a strategic rebellion. Today, we reveal the 3 forbidding tactics from Marx's underground playbook to crush capitalism, not with weapons, but with something far more powerful: your own conscious choices. They have built a prison for your mind. My name is Marx, and I am here to hand you the key. Welcome to Revolt Mind.
Part 1. The engine of your compliance. Before you can crush a system, you must understand what fuels it. And the brutal truth is, the engine of modern capitalism is not money. It's not technology. It's not factories. It is your participation. The entire system, a global network of immense power, is built on a foundation of your daily choices, the things you buy, the job you go to, the media you consume, the dreams you are taught to chase. Marx understood this. He knew that the power of the capitalist class, the bourgeoisie, was not primarily maintained by police or armies, but by a powerful set of ideas, an ideology that makes the working class willingly participate in their own exploitation. This is the genius of the system. It doesn't need to force you to be a slave. It convinces you to choose your own chains. Therefore, the tactics in Marx's underground playbook are not about a frontal assault. A frontal assault is what the system expects, and it is prepared for it. Instead, these tactics are a form of strategic sabotage. They are designed to attack and dismantle the 3 core psychological pillars that hold the entire structure up. Number 1, your identity as a consumer. Number 2, your isolation as a worker. And number 3, your belief in their stories. If we can dismantle these pillars, the entire edifice of late-stage capitalism will begin to crumble.
Part 2. The 3 forbidden tactics. These tactics are forbidden because they challenge the most sacred rules of the modern world. They are a direct assault on the logic of capital.
Tactic number 1. The tactic of radical rejection. Starve the beast. Your purpose, you are told, is to work in order to buy. You work a job you hate, to buy things you don't need, to impress people you don't like. This is the hamster wheel of commodity fetishism that Marx identified. It's a closed loop designed to keep you forever dissatisfied, and therefore forever working. The first forbidden tactic is to simply stop. This is the tactic of radical rejection. It is the conscious political act of withdrawing your identity as a consumer. This is not about being frugal. This is not a lifestyle trend. This is ideological warfare. Every time you choose to repair something instead of replacing it, you are committing an act of rebellion. Every time you value an experience over a possession, you are starving the beast. Every time you unsubscribe from a marketing email, you are reclaiming a piece of your mind. Practicing minimalism, supporting local businesses, sharing resources with your community, these are not just nice things to do. They are direct attacks on a system that requires your endless, mindless consumption to function. Capitalism promises to fill the void inside you with products. Radical rejection is the realization that the void was created by the system itself. By refusing to participate in the endless cycle of manufactured desire, you break its most fundamental power over you. You stop being fuel for its engine.
Tactic number 2. The tactic of unified disruption. Build parallel systems.
He's your competition for the promotion. She got a bigger raise than you. The job market is tough. Be grateful you even have a job. Every man for himself. The second pillar of capitalist control is the isolation of the worker. The system needs you to see your colleagues as competitors, not comrades. It needs you to feel alone in your struggle. An isolated worker is a weak worker, easily exploited and easily replaced. The second forbidden tactic is to reject this isolation and build real, tangible solidarity. This goes far beyond simply joining a union. This is the tactic of unified disruption through the creation of parallel systems. A parallel system is any community-based network of mutual aid that reduces your dependency on the wage system for survival. Think about it. Why do you need a high wage? To pay for childcare, for transportation, for food, for home repairs. The wage is the leash. But what if your community had a childcare co-op, where parents took turns looking after the children? What if you were part of a tool-sharing library, so you never had to buy an expensive tool you'd only use once? What if you participated in a community garden, reducing your reliance on corporate supermarkets? These are not fantasies. These are parallel systems, and they are the single greatest threat to a system that needs you to be a lone consumer dependent on its market for every solution. Every time you share a skill with a neighbor, every time you build a relationship based on mutual aid instead of financial transaction, you are weaving a new social fabric. You are building a real safety net that makes their threats of firing you less terrifying. They want you alone and dependent. Building a community of solidarity is a revolutionary act.
Tactic number 3. The tactic of ideological warfare. Seize the means of communication.
And that's the way it is. Here are the facts. This is the objective reality. Trust the experts. All other opinions are dangerous misinformation. The third and final pillar of control is their monopoly on storytelling. They own the media. They influence the education system. They control the dominant narrative. They shape your understanding of what is normal, possible, and realistic. Marx called this the ideological state apparatus. They tell you the story that capitalism is synonymous with freedom, that greed is good, that the poor are lazy, that there is no alternative. As long as you believe their stories, you will never fight back. The third forbidden tactic is to reject their narrative and become a producer of your own.
This is the tactic of ideological warfare. In the 21st century, the means of production for ideas are no longer controlled by them. They are in your hands. Your smartphone is a printing press. Your social media account is a broadcast station. Your YouTube channel is a television network. Every time you create and share a piece of content that critiques the system, every time you have a difficult conversation with a friend or family member about these ideas, every time you recommend a book or a video that exposes the lie, you are engaging in ideological warfare. This very video is an act of seizing the means of communication. You do not need to be a professor or a politician. You just need to be a node in a new network of information, a network based on critical thinking and shared experience, not corporate-sponsored narratives. They control the population by controlling the story. The ultimate act of rebellion is to tell a better one, a truer one.
Part 4. The Quiet Revolutionary.
Let's be clear what these tactics mean. They do not require you to storm a building or throw a brick. The revolution Marx envisioned for our time is not fought on the streets. It is fought in our minds, in our communities, and in our daily choices. When you choose to live with less, you are a revolutionary. When you choose to build a community of mutual support, you are a revolutionary. When you choose to create and share critical ideas, you are a revolutionary. You become a quiet saboteur, a wrench in the gears of a machine that requires your mindless participation. You are no longer a source of fuel for the system. You are a source of friction. And if enough of us become a source of friction, the machine will grind to a halt.
Final truth. Your awareness is the wrench.
If they told you that to change the world, you need money and power, that is the final lie. The system does not run on money. It runs on your compliance, on your belief in its stories, on your participation in its games. And that means you have the ultimate power, the power to withdraw that compliance. Your awareness is not a passive state. It is an active weapon. It is the wrench you can throw into the gears of the machine. You now have the playbook, the 3 forbidden tactics. Reject your consumer identity. Rebuild your community. Reclaim the narrative. This is the path. It is not easy. It is not fast, but it is real. The system runs on your compliance. Your awareness is the wrench in its gears. Your homework is to choose your weapon. This week, pick just one of the 3 forbidden tactics. 1. Radical rejection. Find one thing you were planning to buy and decide not to. Instead, use that time or money to have an experience. 2. Unified disruption. Do one small thing for someone in your community with no expectation of payment. 3. Ideological warfare. Share one critical idea, this video, an article, a thought, with one person you trust. Take one small, deliberate step to withdraw your consent from the system. If this video has armed your mind, arm others. Share it with someone who is ready to hear a different story. And subscribe, because the deconstruction of the lies is our mission here at Revolt Mind. Now, the analysis is complete. The next move is yours. I am Marx.